I've done this production twice before, once as a director and once playing the part of Robert Danvers. Many years ago in North Queensland, Richmond actually was where I played the part, and I directed it in Roma. I believe that it is good, basic British comedy. And some of the modern stuff that we see is a little bit way out there, but I really like this one because it's basic.
Well, I wear a number of hats in this production. I'm the production manager, assistant to the director, Kerry. I also have a small role as John the Porter, and I'm the committee's representative on the production as president of Yeppoon Little Theatre. And I'm also director of this particular documentary.
It's always been in my mind to do it wherever I could, and the opportunity came up to do a play at this time of year to try and fill a void, and I had the script, so I put my hand up and said, yeah, I'd love to direct it.
This is audition night for There's a Girl in My Suit, directed by Kerry Kay. Should be a lot of fun, really looking forward to this one. Kerry's been wanting to do this play for quite some time, so I'm the production manager for the show, and yeah, looking forward to it. We started with auditions, which were less than successful, I suppose.
Have you got a cast?
No, not quite, not yet.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah. We're confident. We're quietly confident we'll have a cast.
Were there any standouts for you?
Well, look, we didn't really audition because there weren't enough people here to audition. But I think the main male roles we should be okay with.
Absolutely,
you agree?
Absolutely. And it's mainly some female roles that that we need to fill to fill the cast. So hopefully over the next couple of days we'll make some phone calls and we'll be able to fill the cast totally. There was a lot of parts that didn't get filled on that audition night. Now, thanks to my production manager, we started a campaign of trying to solicit people to take on parts.
Look, the ironic thing was that this play wasn't on our initial schedule. The initial schedule was to have our one-act plays at the beginning of the year, the youth project, and then our end-of-year play. However, Vicky came and saw me and said, look, we've got the youth production that's just happened. We've got the end-of-year play, which is basically a musical. There's nothing there for our adult actors to participate in at the end of the year. So why don't we slot in an extra play? And I know that Kerry has been quite keen on doing this play for some time. So we approached Kerry and he said, yep, he's up for it. However, based on the auditions, yeah, it seems like we might not have needed to do that. Well, just got off the phone with Vicky about the auditions. I guess now we're going to make a decision if we can't find a decent cast pretty quickly, because we haven't got an awful lot of time for this one. If we can't find a cast pretty quickly, we have to make a call whether we actually keep the show going or not. I'm still confident I can find people, and between Kerry and I, we'll get a cast. But yeah, pretty disappointed with last night and the way that things went. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean, initially, Robert was important and Marion was important, the two main characters in the play. And they've got a lot of script, so we had to make sure that we started looking for those people for a start.
Initially, in our thinking after the first audition was that the role of Robert would go to Nick. I bumped into Nick in Woolworths a couple of days later and had a very brief chat with him. And it soon became plain that he wasn't keen on that particular role. It's a huge role and there were a lot of lines and a lot of stage time, and he was just, a bit concerned.
Well, I read the script and I saw the script, and to be honest, I was overawed by the amount of words and the amount of time on stage, and I mean I don't mind. I would have done it if it had come to really desperate measures. I've done plenty of stage work, but not really as much as that, and I was a bit worried about learning that, especially in the amount of time we had as well. We had a couple of months really. So I just wanted to make sure, that I could do a role that I could really, really enjoy and put my best into it. So yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair to say, hey, it's too big a part for me. I don't have the time to learn parts. So we had to cast Nick into the role of Andrew, and I believe we've lucked out there. We've lucked in there because he played a brilliant Andrew.
I loved it. I loved Andrew Hunter. He's a upper class snob, and looking after Robert and as best he can. But I love the role. I love being in it, and it had that humour which I like humour on stage and getting into the character as well. Yeah, so it was good.
Out of the blue, I got an email from John Restall, and who said he'd been interested in doing theatre for quite some time. And John, we met with John. Kerry was quite keen on putting him into the role, so John became Robert Danvers.
How did I get involved in the madness? I've been following the Yeppoon Little Theatre page since we moved here, basically. So a couple of years. Always wanted to have a go at acting, sort of get back into it. Is me thought in my head, but it was 30 years ago, near enough that I last did anything. But I really enjoyed it and always sort of wanted to do something. So, kept watching. I saw some auditions for this and that over time, and then, just saw the Girl in My Soup audition call, and, the rest is history. Really rocked up late, or, by that weekend when I came and met yourself and Kerry, and then, took it from there.
We've just interviewed a new guy to the theatre called John, and he's very presentable and very keen to do some acting work. So things are really looking up now. I'm a lot happier having met him, and hopefully we'll get this thing cast in the next couple of days and have a get together and have a read.
The role of Marion, we offered to a young actress from Rocky called Olivia. She accepted the role, but however had to withdraw due to personal reasons, and can't do anything about that. Luckily, I got a message from Jordana, or Geordie, it was probably in that same week, saying, "Hey, listen, I'm free. Is there anything I can do for this production?" So we offered her the role of Marion, and she snapped it up.
Ian said they were short an actor and gave me like a paragraph of what it was about, and I was like, sure, why not?
This week's been up and down like a pair of jockeys, I tell you. We lost our main female lead. She wasn't able to do the part, but you found one straight away. So, I mean, it was up and then was down, it was down, then up. And so we're really excited now. We should be all go.
The role of Claire, Kerry was quite keen on getting Karen for the role, but Karen had other commitments, and she was also in the interview musical as well. Didn't seem so keen, so I approached a couple of people who seemed interested, but then I think Kerry, probably for want of a better word, begged Karen to do it.
I actually wasn't going to be involved in the play. I was like, oh no, there's too much going on, and Kerry said, you've really got to have a go at this part. I've got the part and it's perfect for you. And I'm like, I said, no, I can't. but he assured me everything was going to be fine. And it was. And I came along, and then, of course, once, theatre gets into you, then you kind of, oh, okay, I'll stay longer. Oh, I really want to stay longer. And you just, you stay and you can't help it. Too many good people around.
It was fairly easy to cast Derek into the role of Jimmy. Admittedly, a little bit older than probably what I would want for Jimmy, but Derek being Derek could play. He plays characters, different characters all the time well. So I was really happy with Derek in that role, and he enjoyed the role.
Jimmy's a bit of a lad, I guess, is the case. He's a bit of a what would I say? He's a rock and roller. So he has a bit of a party attitude about life. I think he sort of he pretty much lives life to the full in many respects. There, he probably drinks and smokes a bit too much and parties and that kind of stuff. But it's hard to. There has some definite flaws and faults in his character, I guess. But I quite liked playing his role. Actually, I've got to be honest. Yeah.
Out of the blue, I actually got a message from Dana Bedwood. I haven't seen Dana for years. She'd been involved with her at Yeppoon Little Theatre, and I know she'd been working with Emerald Little Theatre as well, and then had moved to Bundaberg. And she messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm back in town. Do you have anything coming up that would be suitable?" And I said, "Hey, yeah, look, we've got this production coming up. You interested in being the assistant to the stage manager and also doing a little sort of walk-on 6-line role?" And she agreed. So yeah, we got Dana on board. It's fantastic to have her back in town.
I got involved mostly because I moved back to town, and I reached out to the young Ian and I went, "I'd like to be involved." And he went, "Oh, assistant stage manager." And then, "Oh, do you want to be on stage for a little bit?" "Sure." Yes, I played Paola, the young au pair of, no, not Danvers. Oh, Mr. Hunter, that's right. Yes, the au pair of Mr. Hunter. And she really doesn't have any time for his nonsense, but is quite taken by Mr. Danvers and makes an illustrious phone call at the end.
Okay, John the Porter. John the Porter was originally Ian Westley. Now, Ian's been treading the boards for quite some time, so I never had any problem with casting Ian into any role.
The production manager is really the person who organises everything that's not to do with what's happening on stage. So talking to the stage manager and the set manager about organising props, set, where things are going to go, making sure that rehearsals are on schedule, talking to the director about what he wants as far as cast on particular days, that sort of thing. So it really takes the pressure off the director and allows someone else to step into that role. And we tried to do it before, but some directors are very, I guess they like to be hands-on, and that's okay. They want to do their own thing, and that's fine. But I thought in this case, it'd be really nice to have someone who could really help Kerry and take a lot of the other pressure off.
I don't think I've ever had a production manager, even acting in roles. I've never seen anyone who's production manager. Normally the director takes on the whole roles and makes it a very busy time for them. However, with the production manager, I think it's absolutely ideal because it leaves the director time to concentrate on directing, and that's important because you need to concentrate and give time to getting people to characterise their roles and all that sort of stuff.
So we used a production manager, which is probably one of the first times that we've done that, and it took a big load off of me because a lot of what the production manager was doing normally falls to a stage manager, or should fall to a stage manager in a more typical production. But because I was also set manager, I was spending all my rehearsals working on the set. I was spending all of my time figuring out where am I going to get a stove from? Like, who writes a production or who writes a play with a hallway in it? So I was fully occupied just dealing with set. And that meant that Ian was, Ian covering things like when is the next rehearsal, who's needed for the next rehearsal was fantastic because there was no way that would have fit into my life.
I was asked by Kerry he wanted some lighting and sound done efficiently, and he knew if he had someone that actually had done it before, yeah, he didn't want to bring anyone in green. So,
What do you think of the stage so far?
cool, very, very cool.
Esther Elder, who has got a degree in theatre and been involved in stage managing and sound and lighting in other shows, agreed to help out, and she was marvellous. She was good.
Initially, Esther was considered for the role of Marion, but she was going to be doing another production as stage manager in Melbourne and couldn't do it. Then she called me probably a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, the Melbourne gig's fallen through. Is there anything I can do?" And I said, "Yep, well, do you want to get into the sound and lighting box and help Anthony?"
Hi, my name's Esther. I'm in tech. I'm doing tech stuff, and so I stole this off Ian. So, ooh, that's a bit sexy. Right? Ooh. So here, can you see that? Oop, there's a lighting console. I've kind of programmed just a stage wash, which, ready? Turn this down. Wee. Yeah. And that's lighting. That's all you need to know. Okay, I'll give you back to Ian. You probably miss him. Do.
It was pretty straightforward. There wasn't a lot of sound. There wasn't a lot of lighting actually, but once it was set up, we didn't really have to do a tech run, which is good.
The set manager is responsible for organising elements of the set and getting the set constructed. The set manager is often responsible for design. It depends on the particular production and the preferences of the director. So in this case, I actually did have a very strong hand in the design of the set. After the first read through of the play, I got a sense of what the play was like, and came to the conclusion that it needed to be, or was best served by a fairly realistic set rather than a representative set. Then I actually did a bit of a Google for a 60s kitchen and came up with some images and found one that I could show to Kerry, and Kerry said yes, he liked that particular style, and then thereafter that we pretty much tried to sort of just imitate that style, not the exact kitchen itself, but the style. Okay, so There's a Girl in My Soup is actually a very challenging play to stage, especially on a stage as small as Yeppoon Little Theatre. So first of all, we got the bedroom, which was an idea of Ian's to actually do an extended stage and put the bedroom here, which is fantastic. Just gave us a bit of extra room on the stage. We have a bed made of pallets. Thank you, John Restall, for doing the bed made of pallets, and John's other half for doing the bed head. So that's our bed.
It was a bit of a concern actually, because I'd seen the production, been in the production and directed the production on a lot bigger stage, and construction was able to be moulded to suit what was required. The small stage at Yeppoon Little Theatre created a challenge, and between Elizabeth, Ian and myself, we started off with a set which really wasn't appropriate. It restricted movement on stage, etc. But then was either Elizabeth or Ian or both who came up with the idea to put the bedroom off the stage, and that just worked brilliantly. That allowed a lot more movement on the stage proper. So we were able to adapt the set then to suit what needed to happen.
Coming up here, we've got the screen, gives us the exit to the bathroom. We have our lounge room as well. Chairs from outside. John and his missus actually refurbished these chairs for us, which is fantastic. their lounge chair is just one of the lounge chairs that we have from the theatre itself, but we just used a cheapy eBay cover to give us that 60s kind of look, because it's just a blue couch, it didn't fit at all. And a cheapy rug from eBay. eBay is fantastic for some of the stuff we want to do. It gives us that nice orange 60s shade, perfect for what we want. So I knew very early on that I wanted to make that a feature wall, and we happen to have a very bright, real 60s orange can of paint in the wild tea cage, so we use that to paint that as a feature wall. And I also wanted to do something like a feature on the feature wall. And knowing that Geordie is a very, very talented artist, I asked her if she might be able to paint something on there. She did say to me, "What do you want?" I didn't really have much of an idea, and I scribbled a sort of a star on the stage. And I said, "Oh, it's not a very 60s kind of, thing." And she said, "Oh, I will make it look 60s." A couple of days after it was painted, I kind of wished I'd asked for an argyle, because that would have really suited the 60s. But then I have retrospectively decided that because Robert Danvers is a star of the kitchen, that he wanted a star painted in his kitchen, and that was my subconscious reasoning for picking the star. Then we also have the kitchen. This is stuff from out the back. But we have, Ian had the idea of using this space for the kitchen, which was a great idea. Just again, gave us some extra space on stage for everything else that has to be staged on here. We've got a real stove here, which John got for us because he's an electrician. He got that from a change. That was great.
E.T. did a great job, but like the painting on the back wall, I think it was pretty good.
Tell us about doing that.
It was really fun working with E.T., nailing down the vibe and the design, like doing the couch covers and putting up all the different like little knickknacks that just kind of brought it from being a plain set to something actually believable and lived in. Plus, I just really like, doing things creatively like that, and it was really fun to put everything together. Because I looked up a lot of what was popular in the era, and I really thought for our main character, he would very much be a person who would want to seem fancy and above it all. So he would definitely, instead of going with more flower power, which was also very popular at the time, want to have something that he feels is classy and for his bachelor pad.
Amazing feature wall here. So Jordana Smith did this fantastic feature wall for us, just to make this really pop, which I think is fantastic piece of work. The dining room, pretty simple. Should quickly talk about the back wall. Oh my God, I was adamant from the start that I wanted to actually paint the back wall and really just give it that real 60s feel. This is 2 coats of paint. This is 6 coats of paint, and if you want to know why that took so many coats of paint, just ask Ian. Most of the paint that I was using, I was actually able to source from the wild tea cage. The bottom half of the back wall was a brownie kind of colour that I sat there and painted with a paintbrush because I was concerned about not having enough paint to actually use a roller, which meant it took ages. But we didn't have the paint that I thought we were going to use for the top half. When I opened the tin of paint, it wasn't the same colour inside that I thought it was. The colour on the lid was not the same colour as that was inside. So I opened this tin of paint thinking I was going to paint the top half of the wall and go, I thought that this tin of paint was this colour. It is pretty much exactly what we want, but it's actually this colour, which is not what I want. So I'm a bit screwed. Not a happy Jan. That's not what I was expecting. So I said a few naughty words, and we went and bought a tin of paint from Bunnings. Now my hubby helped me pick the colour, and I will say he picked an amazing colour. I think he was 1,000% right in picking the colour. And then we came back and started painting. I went, I like how this paint is behaving. It's just not, it's not sitting flat on the wall. It's behaving like an enamel. And he said, oh, it's exterior. Does that matter? Yeah, it's probably not going to help. The set was lifted so much by that colour scheme. I think you can see a couple of early shots of the set before we had painted and everything was black. And then you can see some shots after we painted it, and the difference is night and day. It's a huge difference, made a complete difference to that set. We also feature a bespoke painting by the very talented Dana. I wanted something to put on the wall here, and between us, everyone came up with the idea this would be a great Robert Danvers painting. So she painted that in a couple of days, which is fantastic. Now we've got the hallway. Oh my God, the hallway. Who writes a play with a hallway in it? We mussed around for ages trying to figure out the least problematic way to set up the hallway. And this is what we've come up with, and I think it's probably the least problematic. I don't think there's any good way to do a hallway. You're going to lose line of sight no matter what you do, but we've basically braced it onto the side of the pro arch here and then just used a flat to kind of brace it and hide that. Yeah, there's just no nice way, no easy way to do this. So that's our set. We're very indebted to Rockhampton Little Theatre for loaning us a number of pieces, the bedside lamps and the divider, which was the thing that the record player actually sat on. And I think they really made a huge difference. The lamps, originally I wasn't looking for lamps, but they said, here, why don't you take them in case they're useful? And they turned out to be beautiful. Just put a bulb in one of them. And then they just made the bedroom pop that extra bit more.
What are we doing?
I'm getting ready to do a mural on the back. We're either thinking like a mural that's very much the 60s with the stars and pop colour themes, or like some fake stained glass. Not too sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You happy what you got done?
Yes and no. I'm mad that it's bled because I put all the effort into taping it, and then the texture on the wall made it bled. But yeah, I'm gonna fix it on Monday. You can't stop me.
What have we achieved today?
Geordie started the amazing little feature mural for our kitchen, which is really good. We've hung our doors. We still need to do some magic with the hinges on the doors. And John is figuring out how to make a bed.
The plan is... Oh, hello, sorry. Yeah, I've drawn up the frame where we've got to need all the legs, and we'll do a bed head separate, and then we can just screw it all in. Put the mattress on top, happy days, will all line up perfectly.
Then we'll be screwing on that bed?
Exactly, plenty. Underneath, on top, behind it.
So, ladies, what are we doing?
We're making it orange.
Yeah.
Glitter orange. It's going to be a real 60s orange, yeah.
Oh yeah.
1960s orange.
Absolutely.
What did I just say? This wall is complete pain in the butt paint.
Yeah. I never want to paint it again. We were just like,
gonna
how
have
could
to.
we make this better?
We'll
Get rid of the texture.
Because we'll need to make it black.
Black. Yeah, no. Great.
Having been on stage quite a bit, I know what a drag it can be to be rehearsing too many nights for too long before a production.
How are you, Nick?
Very well, thank you.
Good. You know your lines yet?
Yeah, off by heart.
Good.
And I'm lying. So-
Now, we started rehearsing, I think, was about 8 weeks out. So, and I've done productions elsewhere in 6 weeks, if you've got a dedicated cast. But in this case, it was 8 weeks, and we reckon we could do it. So, initially, we decided to rehearse twice a week, and then for the last 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, we threw in a Sunday afternoon. Unfortunately, we were plagued from time to time with illness, which is always a hazard with things like this. But anyway, we got through, and people stepped up, so it was really great.
So tonight's rehearsal is off. How come?
All right, so we're on our way to the theatre. It's for a Monday night rehearsal. Just got a message from John saying he's caught up in a work incident, which, yeah, it happens. There's nothing we can do about it. So tonight was going to be just John and Geordie working together. So obviously that's going to be canned. So we're going to reschedule, chuck in an extra night sometime this week. We'll probably do Thursday night, Wednesday and Thursday this week. But we're going to head to the theatre anyway. We've got a couple of things we want to sort out on the stage. Yeah, you know, shit happens. Say something intelligent for the camera.
Well, hi. We've had a few hiccups with the rehearsals, but hopefully back on track now. We've only got a month and we are open.
A month yesterday.
A month yesterday. So that makes me more nervous than I have been for the whole trip.
So John's called in sick. Unfortunately he's got the bug, so nothing we can do about that, but things are starting to get a little desperate because we're only about 3 weeks out. So I'm about to walk in the door and get Kerry's reaction. He's in the kitchen.
Hello?
Your
Hello?
reaction.
I'm not allowed to say it on this thing, am I?
You can say whatever you fucking like.
Fuck me, Roan! But anyway, can't be helped. I've had the bug, so I know that it's it can be a problem. So we just hope that it's only a 24-hour and not the one that I had, which was about 5 days.
Rehearsals have been going okay. We've had some issues. There's been some challenges. We've had, well, first of all, we've had some illness that's gone through the cast, and you know we can't help that. That's just you know the way it is. It's no one's fault that people get sick. Yes. Derek has had to split his time between our production and Mamma Mia, and we knew that going into it. So again, you know that's okay. We worked around that.
It is hard actually, yeah. I found that quite difficult. I had to miss some rehearsals here. My role's not that big though, so I thought I could handle it okay. The Jimmy's role, it didn't have a heck of a lot of dialogue, so I thought it's probably quite manageable. Towards tech weeks though, you know, for productions here, that's when it's kind of like, oh geez, I've got to be in two places at once and I'm going to annoy the other cast by not showing up and that kind of thing, trying to preempt that, yeah. So and it's wearing on your time as well, and your just your mental faculties and that, I guess, and your family and that. So yeah, it does take a bit of time, yeah.
It was hard. It's always hard when you're doing a part in the show and you've got someone who's not actually standing in front of you to actually react with or talk to, and when they're obviously away and someone's reading from the actual audience for you. Yeah, it's hard to get into character and stuff like that, but like I say, we'll get on with it and the show must go on as it has.
It was not too stressful for me, I'd say, because I had so many lines with other people that it was easy for me to just work with other people who happened to be there. But I know it was a hard time on other actors because they might have only had scenes with that person.
It did make, you know, a little bit of a hard slog at times, and everyone seemed to get sick in our cast. So we were sick. You know, every single person sort of went through a little bit of sickness, but I thought we were actually cursed at one stage. There was so much sickness, but but. It was really hard, but you know the good thing is the people that we were working with were really professional with what they did, and they brought their A game when they could, so that made it doable. And I think we're all pretty flexible, and we just get in there and get it done. I don't think there was many people in the cast that would just sit back and not want to get anything done. We all just went in, let's go, in and out, move on.
We really need to get it tidied up quick. There's still stuff up there, the blocking that needs to be fixed up yet. choreographed. That last bit there with the chairs and the standing on feet and all that sort of stuff. We need to run that half a dozen times.
I know. It's the ongoing lecture, isn't it, Ian? Get your script out of your hand. I probably know them, but then what if I don't? You know, that's
Then
why
you
it's
just
good to
ask for
have it
line.
there.
No.
It's really, really important that we can get those scripts down and we can get all that choreography down pat, just so that we're not disjointed. It needs to flow, and we haven't got many rehearsals left when I look at the calendar.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. I'm happy to do extra rehearsal. I think I've got Saturday.
Bloody hell.
How did you go?
A bit disjointed, but I'm getting there slowly. My God, but you're lovely.
Now I'm really fucking nervous. It was a bit hard without John being here, so we've got to make allowances for that. But I think we should be a lot further down the track with no scripts at this particular point in time. We really do. And when I look at the calendar and find out how many rehearsals we've got left, I'm nervous. I had some stress levels, high stress levels happening. One of the rehearsals about 3 weeks out seemed to be a bit of a struggle for people. Some of them didn't know their lines very well, and then poor John was struggling in his role. I'm shitting myself because of the time frames.
So Sunday's rehearsal wasn't great. John was unfortunately ill on Monday, so we couldn't sort of evaluate things. I think putting on my hat as president of the theatre, I need to have a real talk with Kerry tonight about where we're going with it, because we're only about 3 weeks out, and honestly, we're nowhere near ready.
Well, we've had a good talk to a couple of the cast. We really need scripts down and lines learnt ASAP. We're way too far down the track now to have anybody who's not hasn't got a handle on their script. So Sunday's a bit of a deadline for us. We're going to see how things go on Sunday, and anyone that's having trouble, we're going to have a talk to.
After the rehearsal on Wednesday night, I got home, I was feeling a bit blech, and woke up many times during the night throwing up. Just felt bloody awful. So did a COVID test on Thursday morning, and voila, COVID. It's now Saturday, rehearsal tomorrow, still testing positive. Not too confident about being at rehearsal. So, some more news on the COVID front. There's a COVID in my soup.
There is indeed.
How you
They say in married life you share everything, so thanks, sweetie.
How you feeling, baby?
A little bit crap, not as bad as you were.
Yet.
We'll see how this goes tomorrow, shall we?
How's your soup?
Soup's really good. I strongly recommend soup. Everyone should go get soup. Can be found at Yeppoon Little Theatre.
Kerry's messaged me. Rehearsal didn't go so great. He's rang John, let him know that, he's rang John, and they've decided to move John into the role of John the Porter. And Kerry's asked me if I'll take on the role of Robert Danvers. Today's August the 11th. We open on August 30th. So I've got a shit ton of lines to learn and get down in a very short space of time.
And you have COVID.
And I have COVID.
hope having a chat with yourself and Kerry again and seeing the reality of it. And I hope making you fellas feel comfortable enough where, I'm a big boy. You're not going to hurt me feelings, and the decision was made, which was the right decision, obviously, at the end. Being a manager for many years and having the hard decisions, the hard conversations, I suppose, are the difficult ones to have. And you obviously consider people's feelings and that, but at the end of the day, you've got to do what's right for the business or the production or the show. And the conversation me and Kerry had on the Sunday, I think it was, on that first Sunday rehearsal, I think it might have been. And I was feeling it myself anyway, and I suppose maybe a bit of pride, etc., and a bit of ego where, I'll get it. And then once I saw right through the end and we started the shows, and it definitely wouldn't have been as good an outcome as it was, I think, honestly. So it was definitely the right decision, and took a lot of pressure off for me, and I really got to enjoy my first experience on the stage too. So.
Let me say that during the production, he became one of the crowd favourites because he characterised the part very, very well. So very happy with that, as he was. So no animosity with what happened. It was great.
My lovely wife wasn't too impressed with the fact that my workload was going to increase exponentially, but we had a nice, mature husband and wife discussion.
So I personally wasn't particularly happy. I was concerned about either or both of us getting long COVID. However, touch wood, we actually seem to have recovered just fine.
I didn't have my first rehearsal for about 5 or 6 days after that because of the COVID.
Look, I guess to be honest, I had confidence because I knew who was going to be playing Robert was the case. So that, and I think it was, and I guess when the message came through, it was like, I could understand why that was going to happen as well as the case there. So I think there's a core of people here who I do trust though, and I know that when we commit to doing something, we're going to do it.
I'm sad for John. John's a wonderful guy, but his first time on stage, it was huge role, and like I say, even I was overawed by it. So for John being his first go on stage, I think it would have been huge for him, and I'm glad he came and said he felt a bit uncomfortable about it, and when you stepped in, Ian, I knew everything would be fine, mate, because you are brilliant at what you do as well, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that bit out.
No.
Yeah, I was very apprehensive. I was a little bit scared and thinking, oh my God, how are we going to get this done? This is crazy. But the change was a miraculous change. To having Ian step in was brilliant, and he just was very professional. He came in, learned I think it took him a week, and he was in as best as he could. He was giving his all, so it really helped my character on stage, because I was getting that extra bit of 50% sort of coming to me. So before, I felt like I was trying to do something that I just wasn't really happening. So
stressed because it's like learning a whole new person, creating a whole new character, and learning how to interact with that character. But we're very lucky to have a very talented Ian to take over the role, who I've acted with and done shows with so many times. It almost feels like second nature acting with him now. So it wasn't as scary as it could have been if it was a completely different person that I'd never performed with before.
When I read the message come through, I kind of went, oh dear God, what have we done? But then I read who was taking over the role, and I felt a lot calmer because Ian's an old hat at this sort of thing. So there was a lot less panic for me because, I don't know, just having worked with the people that I've worked with and knowing the experience and the background.
I'm feeling much better today. First rehearsal back after COVID, and first rehearsal as Robert Danvers. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how we go tonight. Most importantly, how are you feeling?
I'll tell you that after tonight, Ian.
You say that every time, Kerry.
No, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling confident with what we've done. So,
Working on a new dish?
No.
Writing a recipe?
No.
Then why the hell aren't you ready?
Ready? For what?
I'm picking you up.
Picking me up? Kerry has an announcement.
I am very impressed, Ian, in that short amount of time. The lines that you've learnt, and this will be polished in no time at all.
He's the smartest of a lot of us.
Thank you, Kerry. Voila.
So what are you doing?
I'm practicing cracking an egg with one hand. You're supposed to go like that, and then it's not. The shell's too soft. I blame the shell. Ew. Thank you. You can cut now. Nice tash. How are you feeling 10 days out?
I feel pretty confident. Yes, I'm just ticking along and learning my lines and hoping everyone else is doing the same. And yeah, tickety-boo.
Now tell us how you really feel.
Oh my God! Panic!
The tech team here is hard at work.
Yes.
For our first
Getting all these sounds on, it's a big job.
both of them.
Big job, yeah.
I'm director. I'm allowed to be stressed right up until like the opening night. So, but everyone else is confident. So that's the way we need it.
I'm a little concerned because Kerry says he wants to interview me about something. So there you go, Kerry. You have the camera.
All right. I just want to know, Ian, given the short lead time into this part for you, how are you feeling?
Look, I'm feeling pretty good, Kerry. Yeah, look, I'm a little concerned about the lines, not so much the lines themselves, more the cues, because I don't know everybody else's lines as well as I think I should. So getting everyone else's lines down is always helpful. So, you know, if they muck something up or they get some of their lines wrong, then I should be able to carry on with my line or adapt to my line. So. But yeah, hey, look, it is what it is. We've got just over a week to go, so yeah.
Confident. Well done.
Thank you,
Thank
Kerry.
you. Was very happy with Act 2 tonight. Very happy. Act 3, not so happy. So hopefully everyone will brush up on lines between now and Sunday.
So last night we had a rehearsal. We're now 1 week out from opening. We did Acts 2 and 3 last night. Act 2 went pretty well. I was really happy with that, but yeah, Act 3 was a real downer. So unfortunately, that's the thing that I've been obsessing about now all night and all morning so far. Yeah, as an actor, you're only as good as your last scene, I guess. So yeah, still got some work to do. Big rehearsal on Sunday. Today's Friday, so we open a week today. Let's hope that goes better. Okay, Kerry, we've just had a full run again. How did you go? How did we go? Someone call an ambulance. Kerry's having a heart attack.
A lot happier today than I have been before. So I really think we've got a show.
Anything else you want to
add? No, that'll do.
So yesterday's rehearsal went, yeah, okay. We're still struggling with lines quite a bit. Chunks were missed, and yeah, we still needed a few prompts. So today's now Monday. We open on Friday, so let's see how tonight goes.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Kerry. Hello,
Absolute
Dana.
garbage.
How are you feeling, Ian?
I'm very tired, Kerry.
Are you? Yeah, you looked a bit tired
Yes,
there.
I'm very
at the
tired.
end. Yeah.
How did it go tonight, Kerry?
Um,
We've got 2 more rehearsals to go before we open.
We have, yeah, only two.
Yes.
What about morning and night rehearsals? Can we do those? No, just joking. Act 2 was a lot better today than it has done in the past. Act 1 was probably a little worse than I was hoping for. And Act 3, well, Act 3 was Act 3. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Kerry. How are we feeling?
Very happy tonight. Very happy. Acts 1 and 2 were almost spot on. Act 3, a little bit of work there, but I think after tomorrow's rehearsal we'll get there.
Cool.
What do you want?
How are you feeling, darling?
Good. Yeah,
How'd the show go tonight?
good. It's very funny. I just find myself chuckling as I'm like,
Well, that's a good thing.
yeah. Well, it's good for comedy. It's good when you laugh at a comedy.
I thought that was probably our best rehearsal yet.
I think so. That was really good. Yeah, it's great to see like every show until like the day or like a couple of days before you show it to people. It looks like shit. Like every show, like not just like every single show. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this? But then you get to a point and it's like, oh, it's pretty good. Like it's a show and it's funny and like, yeah, no, it was really good.
Okay, we had our last rehearsal last night before our final dress tonight, and actually it went pretty well. Still a few little niggly bits, but nothing that would cause any problems, so I'm actually quite happy for a change. Yeah, this is my happy face, so yeah, let's see how the dress rehearsal goes tonight.
Well, would you believe that I wasn't particularly confident about having a show until full dress rehearsal on the Wednesday before the show opened, and that was a great rehearsal. And I even criticised cast putting me through all that stress, and then putting on a performance like that on the Wednesday, and I said, well, thanks for that, but it was a great rehearsal, so I was very confident then that we had a show.
The final dress rehearsal went fairly well, but there were still missed sections, recovered sections. It was a run. It was a run. It was a show. It counted as a show, but there were lumpy, bumpy bits. So it made for a very scary opening night.
Well, there was a little bit of panic in my voice, or a little bit of panic in my step, sort of when we were 3 weeks out. But I think once we actually were doing full runs with full tech, full lights and sound and everything, I think it was an eye-opener for some of our newer members about how we needed to come together as a team. And it's not just me on stage remembering my lines. It's you have to help each other and prompt each other as you can and sort of support each other through this process.
It wasn't the worst I've seen, but it certainly needed a lot of work, a few weeks out, yeah. I think when the scripts were down and the rejigging of the cast had settled down with yourself changing roles with John, I think that it rolled on from there.
Probably being honest. probably maybe a week and a half before. Yeah. But no, it's everyone's such great. The cast we had, they're brilliant at what they do as well. They're all great actors and yeah. So I wasn't worried. Eventually, in the end, I was like, yeah, they'll do it. They'll get there.
No. I've thought it in years past sometimes. It's like, oh my gosh, we're down to the wire here. I feel that less sometimes. It depends on who's involved, though, having said that as well. And Kerry as well, I had confidence in Kerry that Kerry wasn't going to lose the plot or anything like that at any stage. So that helps steady it as well, I think. Yeah. I didn't actually have a moment where I just went, this is not gonna work on this one. Yeah. So
I was pretty concerned with a week out from opening. I Wasn't concerned about the others. I knew the others had a pretty good handle on it, but I wasn't particularly confident in myself. I thought there were parts of the script I was struggling with. Elizabeth was forcing me nearly every day to read lines with her, and she was absolutely fantastic in that respect. And honestly, I didn't think it was until the final dress rehearsal that we really clicked. We showed signs of it on the Tuesday night beforehand, or the night before the dress. We showed signs of it then, and I thought we were starting to get there, but on our final dress rehearsal, I thought we finally clicked. Yes, we missed bits, but I think, that's when I finally thought, thank God we got a show.
The last week, once I had understood like my traffic map as well as my lines, because that was my biggest struggle, was there were so many stage directions in the script that it felt like learning a whole nother script, because I'd never done a play before with so much detail and emphasis on doing exactly what the stage directions are. Normally we kind of get a bit of leeway to do what we want, but this time we had very strict directions on what we had to do, so that was a big challenge for me. But once I sort of got it in my head and got it in my body, it all came together, I think.
All right, so we had a final dress rehearsal last night, and I have to say it went pretty well. There were a few little muck-ups along the way, but we had a preview audience of probably, 7 or 8 people, and they seemed to enjoy it. So, yeah, roll on tomorrow night, opening night. Yoo-hoo!
For every show, I have to go around and fill up all of your drinks, all your drink bottles. I have to make sure all your glasses are in place. I have to make sure that your omelette is pre-cooked, that your ingredients for pretending to make an omelette are pre-cooked.
Do you mean me, or do you mean Robert?
Yeah, let's go with Robert, shall we? So yeah, I have to make sure there's enough for you to imbibe on stage in your sparkling apple juice. So this is probably a good point to point out where us flunkies, as we're often called, call you lot flesh props, all in good humour, of course. But yes, we drinks table here, even though the drinks that I've set so far, no one actually drinks from them, we're putting them away in the fridge every night to make sure we don't get any gunky mould growing on the top of it, which might cause some unscheduled reactions from our actors. And then also making sure there's, for the ones that we actually do drink from, there's enough water for the performance, or enough liquid for the performance type. This is what I follow to make sure that I don't miss anything. You have got to get good at reading the notes. As a backstage person, it's really easy to go, don't tell me I know the show, and you should know the show. Backstage people absolutely need to know the show. But also being set manager, I spent a lot of time on the set before I actually started managing the stage, so I'm probably a little bit behind where I'd normally like to be. But yes, you should always, even when you do know the show, something slightly changes and you forget, so you always need to have your run sheet, and you always need to make sure you're reading your run sheet to make sure that you are not forgetting something. So you don't want an actor in the middle of a performance turning up to pour some scotch or some vodka, and there's no glasses for them to pour it into, and then they've got to try and figure out how to get out of the hole that you've just dug for them.
When I took over the role as Robert Danvers, I basically had to relinquish my role as production manager. Dana was great. She helped out to prompt, helped Kerry, and Vicky really took over the role of production manager after that and organised front of house and got everything else organised. So, from the committee right through, I think everyone did a fantastic job.
Crew, fantastic. Just professional at what they do. You don't have to worry about anything, You got Elizabeth behind the scenes there, and Dana, and then obviously Anthony and Esther. Miss Murray. Yes, and you just don't have to worry. They get this. They get it spot on every time. everything is done for you, so you can relax and enjoy yourself on stage, and that's what it's all about. Yeah.
The crew was amazing and fabulous and really pushed me to actually be good at what I did and helped clear things up in my mind all the time when I was like, oh, I'm doing this, but it does not seem good. And then ET would be back and she's like, no, it's fine. Do it again. And it really, really helped reaffirm that I was heading in the right direction and that it was okay to experiment and to make choices.
I'm extremely grateful to Elizabeth for what she did in her stage manager role. She had everything organised. I could be completely confident that I'd walk on stage and props would be where they should be. Everything would be in place, and between her and Dana, I could just do my job as an actor and didn't have to worry about anything else other than the personal stuff I had to have in my pockets, in my shirt pocket or whatever. But even then, Elizabeth was on to me. She had everything noted down, and she'd come up to me and say, right, have you got your business card in your pocket? Have you got the money in the pants pocket? Have you got your correct underwear on? Is your wedding ring off? And that's not something that I've experienced in a community theatre environment before. So I was extremely grateful for that, because every night there probably would have been something that I would have stuffed up, and that left me free just to do my job on stage. Having Dana in the kitchen area was absolutely great, because I could just do what I needed to do, pass stuff off to her, so I didn't have to find space to put stuff down or whatever. Have Elizabeth to hand me the omelette. Robert Danvers, the master chef, could whisk up his egg, put all his ingredients in, hand them off to her, and she handed me an omelette. So, what are you doing?
I'm making the omelette for tonight's performance. So never before has my stage management involved actually cooking something. You better appreciate it, Geordie. Yeah, one omelette for Robert Danvers to serve up to Marion. What do you reckon? I'd eat that.
Nicholas.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, old boy. How are you?
It's opening night.
I know, it's exciting.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Showtime. I'm feeling great, actually. Yes, I think this is going to be a great time tonight. We're going to make the audience laugh and enjoy themselves, and we're all going to have fun, and everyone's going to have a fantastic time.
Okay, camera stop now. What do you really feel?
Got some chips.
Oh,
hello.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Bit exciting.
Are
Showtime.
you excited?
I am.
Good.
I am. Just ran through my lines freshly in the car with my daughter.
Good. And did she get them right?
Yeah, well, I got them right.
Opening night, yes, very exciting. Yes, I'm going to be doing the lighting and sound with Esther, who's running late. But if she doesn't get here, I can do it on my own.
Awesome. What do you think of the show so far?
I think it's come a long way in 1 week.
Hey, there you go.
You're great. I have mint.
You have mint.
That's what I have to offer at the moment.
Are you looking forward to tonight?
Yes, to actually get live reactions to everything will be good.
And how do you think the rehearsal went on Wednesday night?
I was really happy. We didn't jump 5 pages, and we all seemed to nail it. And we got laughs, so...
Hey.
Headshot only.
So,
How you going?
Your first opening night?
Yes, very excited actually.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely feel a lot better after Wednesday night.
Cool.
Feeling really enjoyed it actually. It's
awesome.
good fun.
Yeah.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Kerry.
How you feeling, Ian?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm feeling fine, thanks, Ian.
Come on, tell me the truth. How are you feeling?
I'm nervous. For you guys, but I'm confident. So if you can be nervous and confident at the same time, that's me. I put it all in one package.
So you're packaged up?
I'm packaged up, ready to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Kerry.
That's my pleasure.
We're good on stage, I reckon, hey? Yeah.
Opening night, mate, how you feeling?
Yeah, full of confidence, yep. I think it's going to be great tonight. I imagine it's just going to be a bit of a blast, yeah. So.
How are you going with your lines?
Oh man, I am word perfect. I have been actually probably for the past, say, 4 or 5 weeks. Absolutely superfluous, I was going to say. That's the wrong word, isn't it?
So what happened Tuesday and Wednesday?
No, I was just testing the waters to make sure everyone knew their lines. So,
Okay, well, thank you, Jack.
Good luck, people.
Chuggas?
Chuggas to you too. Hey, well done.
Hey, how you going?
Good.
Yeah, you looking forward to tonight?
Yes.
You excited?
Yes, and nervous, but very excited.
Right up until literally I was about to walk on, I was fine. I felt I talk in front of people, I don't have a problem with that. And then it was like, oh shit. Oh, sorry, not about the language, but it was, oh bother, you know? Like,
you can say shit.
This is, cool. This is happening. And yeah, it was daunting. A bit of improvisation with the lines was required and a bit of support, you know, from the big fella, from Andrew, aka Nick. But also excited, and once I'd gone off after the first sort of appearance on stage, my first scene, it was, I did it, wow, that was awesome, but also the nerves more so. Definitely having the full dress rehearsal with the community people sort of out front as an audience, I think made it a lot easier for the sort of first live show, you know, real show. Yeah.
Quietly confident. I still had a little bit of nerves, but I guess I really trusted the other wonderful actors that were on stage as well, that if I got into trouble that they'd be able to help. And the script itself is just really good, so it's quite easy to feel confident when you've got good material behind you.
Opening night always just, you get this height of like the pressure cooker kind of coming up, I kind of feel on opening night, and it's that pressure cooker that sort of builds and builds and builds and builds, and you just hope you've screwed the top of the lid on. Just make sure that it's down at that time so it doesn't just explode everywhere. It's got to come out at a you know, a certain sort of gentle steam to come out, as opposed to everything. So you just hope it doesn't explode, but it didn't, luckily enough. It just, yeah, you're just going, okay, now I've got to depressurize, and we go straight in, try to be controlled. But
Opening night was, it was good. Yeah, actually, usually I don't get too nervous, but for this one, yeah, I must admit I did just get a little bit of that. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't usually. Again, I sort of, the confidence was certainly there, but yeah, there was just a little and I think because my character actually doesn't come on stage for an hour. And so I'm just waiting there for an hour, so I think just waiting backstage for an hour sometimes just feels like a long time, and you can go through your warm up and then you cool down again, and
I don't really get nervous about going on stage anymore, and I think that's partially because of my profession, because I'm always technically performing in front of children, but I was nervous for everyone else, and particularly those that hadn't been on stage before, and how they would respond to a proper audience, because whilst we'd had the trial run with members of the committee and that sort of thing, it's very different to when you've got a full sort of theatre and there's active engagement in what's going on. So I was probably trepidatious about how things would go, but we pulled it off.
On opening night, as stage manager, my mind is in a completely different place to where the actors are. Yeppoon Little Theatre, we don't call a show the way that you would in somewhere like the Pilbeam Theatre. So here a stage manager is, apart from the fact that you are effectively responsible for workplace health and safety, beyond that you're largely just responsible for setting and striking stuff on stage. So I get, when I call a show in the Pilbeam Theatre, I actually get far more nervous than when I'm actually on stage. So I didn't really feel anything. I was just focused on this. I was in job mode. I have a job to do. Get the job done.
I don't know, ET told me to do it, so I did it. And I've been a stage manager that's needed people to do things, and it makes it really frustrating when they don't. So I guess having the experience, I just knew what needed to be done, and you do it. That's kind of the expectation.
Dana is an absolute legend. It was fantastic having Dana to help out backstage. She's got a lot of experience.
And I know just
how good you guys were. So, congratulations.
Thank you,
Chookers
Kerry.
for tonight. Give it your worth, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Cheers, Kerry. Thank
Okay.
you so much for everything you've done. You love it.
I'll give you a hug later.
Yeah.
Still got half time.
Yeah.
Everyone should see what you look like.
Let me
I had my jammies on.
Sexy. Jimmy Jams.
How did we go?
Very good.
The audience
Very good.
was very good.
We had a good time. That's all that matters.
The audience was great. They actually laughed. I enjoyed that.
No, don't touch me! Go back home and touch her instead!
Will you stop shouting? Oh, what was that? You clumsy bloody twit!
I'll get something to help!
Oh!
Oh, sit down! Jimmy, help him!
I can walk on one. Oh, it hurts.
Sorry, I get sidetracked with the omelette because I have to go and wash glasses and then I come back and the omelette's there and I'm like, there's an omelette.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good having you there just to hand stuff too, because otherwise I've got to walk around and it just slows the pace down a little bit.
The bit with
I just have my hands there.
How's it going, darling?
Well, you just beside myself. You were seeing somebody else, my sweet.
I am the bottom.
You are.
I am.
Oh,
here she is. The other woman. I feel like Jimmy bringing another woman.
Oh, I know.
Action and a bit of ice if you have some, please.
Darling!
Yes, my sweet.
Who the hell let you in?
Yes.
Well, where is she?
She took the phone call.
I thought I'd better not tell you.
What's the rush?
It has to be now.
I suppose. He's not getting you!
Yes, we're going away with you.
Don't you remember why you came in the first place?
Yes, he's getting rid of her.
Oh.
What? Oh, he's got a key coming up, so we have to go now. I tried to get him to stay out, but
Yes, I do know how it is. My God, but you're lovely.
Reaction.
Well, I think it was quite good, actually. You know, for the first one down, it can only be up from here.
How you feel?
Good. That was really good. I'm really happy. What did you think?
Lots of giggles, lots of laughs.
Yeah.
Lots of
No.
commentary as well.
That was probably the best Act 3 we've done so far. So yeah.
Yeah. The
Good
pace
job.
was good.
Good job, man.
I think
Good
the
job.
pace just kept moving.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Awesome, that was great.
First
Great
proper
adrenaline.
one.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good.
Excellent fun.
And darling Claire, yes, how do you think it went?
I think it was just extraordinary, darling. It was very good.
Hey, look out.
Shalom!
Are you getting a sly rub in?
Have a sly rub.
Where's that cream gone?
So what's this all about?
This gentleman's telling me I did a good job.
You did a great job.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I got in the dark.
I'm not into it, but I appreciate the theatre and you did a great
All right,
job.
thanks, mate. Appreciate
Awesome. And what's this bunch of flowers?
it. Alexis gave me flowers.
Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with them.
Hang on to them. Be grateful.
Okay.
Don't criticise, just eat them.
Okay, thank you, darling. So it wasn't our fault. So, Kerry, what do you think of Derek's costume change?
Oh, looking at male bloody nipples is not a thing for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, done turn Kerry.
But it wasn't that bad. It was in keeping, I guess, with his character.
Thank you. So we're about to head off to the theatre for performance number 2. Hopefully there's going to be no second night blues, and we're going to have a great show. What do you think?
We always have a great show, don't we?
Yes.
The show. Bow tie incident. There was a bow tie incident, but we're fine.
We're fine, I'm out.
What are you doing?
Fixing the couch. Just had a report last night that the couch might have lost some of the integrity that I put in it previously, but seems to be fine. Plus just trying to make it a bit tidier. Now,
Do you think the actors are destroying it a little?
normal wear and tear. Just an artefact of running a show. That's perfectly fine. So hopefully that looks a bit more couchy now. And a bit more. We're still missing Juan, the leading lady, because of accident on the Yeppoon Road. So she should be here soon, but it's okay because we got 20 minutes of banter to fill in, and if need be, Ian's going to run around the theatre and entertain everyone. Well, you obviously had the one where something. No. Ha ha ha. So this is why I'm always on actors about making sure they tell me how far away they are. There's been an accident on the Yeppoon Road. All traffic's blocked. And both Geordie, our lead actress, and Esther, one of our AV techs, were stuck in traffic and they had to turn around and go back through Rockhampton, a long way around to get here. We are
Just got to remember it.
half hour out from showtime and they're 20 minutes out, so they'll just make it.
Oh, hello, Ian.
There she is.
We all G'd up, Ian, are we?
Well, depends on whether our cast gets here or not.
Well, I know. There's a bit of a problem, but hey, if we're 10 minutes from going on at 7:30, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. So that was scary because we didn't think we were going to make it to set in time because of that. And we were actually very lucky because we were following the car and the motorbike that got into the accident, me and Esther. And because I made Esther wait for me to have a shower, and if I didn't, we probably would have been in the accident. So it just happened to be, I guess, good timing of me being selfish, be like, wait 5 minutes, I'm going to have a shower. And then we had to detour and take like another 45 minutes to get back to the theatre, and then that was right when the show was starting, so luckily we didn't have to delay the show. I had to put on my makeup and costumes on about 15 minutes and be on stage. But it all turned out for the best. I think I only stuttered maybe 1 or 2 lines right when I went on stage, so I was still a little bit flustered, but once we got the grip of it, I think it was one of the best nights show-wise that we did.
I'm just hoping all of everyone's got their game face on today because it's been a bit of a rough start to the day, start to the show. So I'm trying to hopefully get everyone focused, but not so focused that they forget to have fun. It's a big challenge.
Sorry, what was that, Karen?
I said, I bet you say that to all the girls. You're a professional.
Yeah, professional, my ass.
Hey Nick, how do you feel about getting dressed?
Come on, VT, Chanel, Mush, whatever it is. Come on, Paolo.
How do you feel now?
Like a bloody star. Oh.
I'm going to wash my hands.
Hey!
Last night, are you all as excited as me?
Yes.
Oh, and I just said to E.T., all those chairs out there means it's got to be top class, top notch, pasteurised, over the top, full cream.
Nothing off.
Nothing off. Oh no.
Very lady.
Overall, I have the greatest admiration for the people that played parts in that show. And I know I negative comment about the show at all. And there are people who love to give you negative comments if they don't feel that it went as good as it did. And not nastily so, they're just critical, constructive criticism. But I never had one, and neither did a lot of the other committee members. So very happy with it. I mean, as a director, you sit back and you know when people have forgot lines and they don't say lines, and you're down the back and you just want to yell out and say that line. But anyway, it wasn't that bad, and the audience didn't know. They weren't critical pieces of script that was lost under the carpet.
I don't think there was anyone that didn't get on, from what I could see. My outside looking in on everyone else's relationships, everyone just kind of clicked, and I've worked with a lot of those people before, so it was kind of felt like home. Like you know what I mean? Like it just felt comfy, and everyone was so supportive of everyone. You'd come off stage and there'd be like high fives and great job, you did a great job up there. You just felt really like in a big family.
Very well, I think. I hope. I felt we all got on all right. Made a bit more of a direct sort of mateship bond with Big Nick, I think. Just two old men talking crap, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, he gave me a bit of guidance and a lot of support from everyone, which was really good. Backing me up, and even you make the odd mistake here and there. And I had a bit of a frozen moment on one of the nights there, which was a bit of a moment, but we sort of covered that. And it was really good. I had fun. All good people and all there for the same reasons, just to enjoy it and put on a show and have some fun.
I haven't done theatre for about 2.5, 3 years now, and it's made me remember why I love it so much. It's such a feeling, and I'm definitely doing more.
Sorry. Okay.
What sort of question are you going to ask?
3 seconds.
Okay. How did you enjoy the show tonight?
I love the show.
Awesome. What was your favourite part?
All of it. I thought that the lead actress was just superb. She was beautiful.
Marion?
Yep, she was just beautiful.
Excellent. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Would you recommend people to come and see the show?
Absolutely. It's definitely a new one, not one that a lot of people would have seen, I'm sure, but it's definitely a good show.
Awesome. Any part in particular that stood out for you?
Well, I particularly came here to support one of the leads, Ian Westley. He's a good friend of mine. Definitely loved his role in it.
He's a terrible robot guy. I don't know like seeing him personally.
I loved it. But then I'm going back 50 years to when I did my first play, and I know how hard it is up on stage, and they did a great job.
Yeah.
A really good job.
Yeah. Awesome.
And props too. You didn't even see the prop people.
Oh, we had a great time. We had 3 bottles of red wine, and we were really lubricated for this big show. Yeah. But look, and some great new talent. That girl, what was her name? I don't even remember. It was really good. Really enjoyed it.
You're all amazing.
Sorry, I didn't ask permission, but I'm filming.
It's fine. No, I'm not backward in coming forward. Yeah, it was lovely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks a lot.
So what did you think of the show?
We loved it.
We loved it.
Yeah.
We've been here on many an occasion, and it's a great night out.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Very entertaining. Yeah, and well done to everybody.
I mean, it does show its age a little bit at this point. There's a couple of jokes I'm like, wow. But it's pretty funny, and the audience seemed to really like it. And Zach, my partner, really liked it, and he does not like theatre, so that's saying something.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss coming and seeing everyone at least twice a week, annoying everybody. People telling me how amazing I am.
Oh, sorry.
How'd it go?
absolutely marvellous, and I'm just so proud of everybody that was on the stage here too, and everybody that worked backstage and everywhere else. It was just phenomenal, and the crowd absolutely loved it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so it's Sunday, last show last night. Went really well, and now we're off to the theatre to deconstruct the set, square everything away, because somebody else is coming in next week to use the theatre. So, yep, bump out day, cool. See, this is what happens with the banner at the end of a show. Vicky gets on her hands and knees in front of Anthony, and they scrape and pull and swear and curse.
Pretty much. Beeping banner.
If you want to see the hardest thing the director's done for the whole show,
Director's work is never done.
that's why we call it community theatre. My God, but you're lovely.